Afternoon guys, so Thursday afternoon we just thought we'd give a quick recap of what we've been doing this week in the workshop. I've got my brew. Anybody who likes the look of this cup, they are available in the cafe, but let's go inside and have a look. So yeah, basically this is still here because we had this is one of our main events that we're planning in May, retro run, or high octane retro fun, speed fest. Lots of Group B rally cars, trade stands, various bits and pieces, 2-day event. That should be a pretty good weekend. So into the workshop, that's what the barriers are still for. We had the workshop open, so that was to allow people to come in and see what we were doing. This is probably the first week that we've had back actually working on stuff. Last week was a bit of a getting it ready to let people in. So that seemed to go down pretty well. From everyone I spoke to over the weekend, they did seem to enjoy the fact that they could come to the cafe next door, get a brew, get something to eat, meet up with people in the car park, and then as well as that, come in here and ask questions about what we were building, how we were building it, what's next. You know, even tell us about their own projects, which, you know, it's nice to be able to talk to people. So let's have a look at what we're on with anyway. So Citroen Zara has not really changed that much at the moment. It's still pretty much as it was when I brought it. What do we need to do to this? We've got to put engine to mount would probably be next. Engine and gearbox, F20C engine, S2000 engine. Probably make about 250 horsepower, I would expect, by the time we've finished playing with it. So yeah, mount the engine. Anyone who's wondering what these are the brakes that I didn't want it. So we've got some pretty big Alcon brakes there, and the discs are current BTCC discs, so 270-ish millimetre I would expect, 32 in diameter, so pretty hefty stuff for a car that'll weigh so little. Hubs, so at the moment, I haven't really had a chance to touch it. This has just been sat here and we've just been going over it, getting a plan together as what we are going to do. So this is it's an interesting project. We've got on the bench, we've got some basic jigs from some of the parts that we manufacture. We haven't thrown them out yet, but they will be available or relaunched soon. So that's something else that we are working on. You'll see we've got the new signs up, so that one's still to get unpeeled, but these ones here. So anybody who's wondering what this is or how to find us, search that on Facebook, we will pop up. Bit tidying to do, but main thing that I've been on this week is the Escort. So this is our Carlos Sainz build, or our Carlos Sainz replica build. So this is hopefully something like the finished article. So I keep that there on the bench, and then when I'm losing motivation, I have a look across there and I can see what the aim is.
It's almost identical, Steve.
It looks similar to me. So the roll cage is what I've been on with. So when I started the cage, first thing I did, although it's a Subaru floor, what I wanted is the roll cage to resemble this car as much as possible. So I did a lot of research to start with, finding what it should look like. So all these little gussets and everything that I've been making, I do all these myself. We do all these ourselves. Everything, you know, we ain't got out and bought a custom cage. We've built this cage from scratch. So this, how it looks, is not so much my own design. This is obviously the design of the WRC car. All these little bits and what have you. So I've pretty much finished welding it all now. I've got some of the gussets and stuff still to add. I've also been doing some repairs. So this was all rusted. So what I've done here is, it was like this, but obviously you can't buy these panels anymore, and I didn't want to go to the effort of making all the tooling to press everything like this. So what I've done is I've just put some dimple gussets in it, done dimple dies in it, which will then strengthen the panel up. This is hidden anyway, this is the middle of the sill, and then the outer sill of the Escort comes over it, so it'll never be seen again. So it's just in well-through primer, stop it rusting anymore. And then I've got the same to do on the other side, some small repairs down at the front, which is basically these bits. So again, this will get cut out and I'll make a new section to go here. So everything, I cover everything in well through primer. Every little helps. And then it'll go back underneath. Once I finish that, it'll go back underneath, under the shell, and then I can bring the shell down for the final time, and then I can start welding the outer sills on, you know, welding it all along here, welding it along here, making up the bulkhead panels, making up the boot floor, all new rear wheel arches, that's all going to be new. Again, what the plan is there is to remove all of these ones, and then I'm going to build something. That's what, you know, why the cage is not tied in, because this will all get plated into the new strut tops. But the plan is to make it look as much like the Escort inside, rather than it look like Subaru inside. So, and then that brings us back to the shell. So there's the shell. What we've been doing is cleaning everything up. So if I just look under here. So this is where the original strut tops was. So we've taken all that off, we've cleaned all that up. Spot welds will obviously get plugged back up again, and that'll all get dressed in. All these bits around the shell, all the way down. All the extra skins that we don't need, they've all been taken off. Everything, basically, it's been made ready to accept the Subaru floor pan. So that's mainly what I've been working on this week. So just achieving small bits like this, it takes a long time. It's not this kind of project, not a quick and easy project. It does take time. Sometimes it is easy to lose motivation when you don't quite think you're progressing as quickly as you should, but it is what it is. So that's that one. Let's have a look at the Metro. So the Metro again has not changed this week. It was brought in here basically for people to look at. So the idea of this is we're going to start producing these as fully MOT'd, road legal, out the door cars. This is one that I started building probably 18 months ago as my, the cost of these is too great at the moment. You know, you're 250, 300,000 pound in for a genuine car, which is not something that I can afford basically. So I've gone down the route of building my own. So this is built pretty much exact to what the original car was built. It's got a 3-litre engine out of the Jaguar, the AJ30, throttle bodies and bits and pieces. But this is something that we are going to be heavily concentrating on over the next few months. Once we've got the Escort more underway and back together as a two-part car rather than two separate pieces. So yeah, this is one to look out for, which we'll pick up more on probably in the next month or so. So yeah, that's pretty much a roundup of where we've been and what we've been doing. Not really much else I can tell you, other than anybody who is interested, get yourself down on the weekend. We will have the doors open. You can come in, you can look around, and you can ask us questions.